Hello there, it's Sarah from Paper Lovely. Thanks for joining me today. I'm working with the Spellbinders January 2019 Small Die Kit of the Month to create these really adorable paper dolls. So I'm going to start out here just by creating one of the little boys and one of the little girls so you can see how all the pieces fit together to create them. So now that I've got a bunch of these little guys created, I'm gonna add some embellishments. I've used that ponytail holder to create some earrings and bracelets for the little girls. And there I'm using my Maggie Holmes sticker book. There are some tiny hearts in there that worked great to create some pockets on the shirts of the little boys, and I just added one in the center on the shirt of one of the little girls. So here for card number 1, I have laid out my image. I've got that little guy up there holding onto the balloon. I'm going to stamp out the sentiment for you using some VersaFine Onyx Black ink, and I've stamped that on some paper tray ink mint julep cardstock. Here I've got a Nina panel trimmed to 4x5 1/4, and I'm going to stamp out the sentiment, I think I love you a little bit more each day. And both of those sentiments were included in the stamp set that came with the Spellbinders January card kit. And I stamped out that second one there with some Lawn Fawn Minty Fresh ink. I'm also going to use some leftover pattern paper from the card kit, and I've taken this pink chevron pattern paper and trimmed that down to 4x5 1/4. I've added some ATG to the back there, and I'll place that on top of my card base. And this card base is made from MFT's whipped cream cardstock. So I'm just sort of laying everything out there, trying to get it into position. Then I'm going to grab that For You sentiment. I'm just going to trim that down. And then once I have everything laid out the way that I'd like it, I'll go ahead and start attaching everything to the card front. So I'll start out with this little guy here, adding some art glitter glue behind him. And then once I've got his hand over the balloon string, I'm going to add a dot of glue behind the top and the bottom of that string. Then I wanted to add a little bit of dimension with that balloon, so I'm going to grab my sticky thumb dots and I'll add a couple of those behind there and then place that down over top of the string. And then I'll add some glue behind that sentiment and go ahead and place that down. Next, I'll add some ATG to the back of that inside panel and place that on the inside of my card base. So once I was finished, I felt like the front needed a little something more. I grabbed my Tim Holtz Tiny Talk stickers and had one that read "Yours Always." So I'm just going to place that right underneath that For You sentiment. And that will complete card number 1. For card number 2, I'm again going to use some leftover pattern paper trimmed to 4x5 1/4. I'm going to place that here on top of my card base, which is made from paper tray ink Hibiscus Burst. And I'm going to use these two little characters that I created at the beginning of the video. So my plan was always to have them holding hands, but I had actually planned to have them holding the outstretched hands. And when I placed that on the top of my card base, it was just a little too wide to fit. So if you're going to do the A2 size card base like I am, I would suggest going with the arms that are more straight down rather than outstretched. Thankfully, I had done that on the opposite side, so I was just able to flip-flop them and still get the look that I was going for. So once I've got her in place, I'm going to go ahead and add him down, and I'm again using my art glitter glue for this. To create this sentiment, I'm going to use one of the dies that came in the January card kit, and I'm running that through here using some Paper Tray Ink Hawaiian Shores cardstock. Then I'm going to back that here on a scrap piece of Neenah cardstock, and I'll trim that out. Then I'll go ahead and pop that up using some foam tape. And once I place that down, I wanted to use another one of those Tim Holtz stickers. So I had one there that said spring is in the air, and I just wanted the is in the air to finish off that love sentiment. So I just snipped off the part that I didn't need to use and put that down. Maybe I'll be able to use it again another time. And I'm gonna again add some foam tape behind this, and then I'll place that just under that love die cut. For the inside, I'm using a Neenah panel trimmed to 4x5 1/4. I'm going to use a few more of these tiny talk sentiments, placing two together here. You are my one and only, I love you. And then to finish that off, I'm going to grab a piece of that Hawaiian Shores cardstock, which I've trimmed to about 1/4 inch, and I'll place that along the bottom of my panel. Go ahead and trim off that excess, add some ATG to the back, and then I'll place that here on the inside of my card base. And that will complete card number 2. So for card number 3, I just could not get enough of these little characters. They are so cute, and I wanted to try and fit 3 of them on one card base. So this is definitely not something that I would mail. I just would be afraid, even if I made a larger envelope, that it would get messed up as it was going through the mail. So for me, it'll definitely be a hand deliver card, or you could stick it inside a bubble envelope. So what I'm doing here is getting them all attached. I'm going to add a little bit of art glitter glue to the hair and the hands where they're overlapping there. And then once they're all stuck together, I'm then going to grab some of my foam dots and place those all along the back of them. So I wanted to go with some type of friendship sentiment, and I didn't have any stamps that were working for what I wanted. So I have grabbed some more Tim Holtz stickers, and these are the snarky stickers. They came in one of the Simon Says stamp card kits, and I hadn't used them yet. So I thought this would be a good time to pull these out and see what they had. So for the front, I went with this sentiment, that moment when you hear someone else call your best friend their best friend, and you are like, no. I thought that was really cute, and I know exactly who I'm going to send this card to, and I know it will make her smile. So I've placed that along the bottom there, and then I removed all of the backing from those pop dots and placed the girls right along the top of that sentiment. Here on the inside, I have used another one of these snarky stickers, and this one reads, "We'll be best friends forever because you already know too much." And that's going to complete card number 3. Here are a few close-ups of the finished cards. In the description box below, you'll find my blog post, which has additional photos and links to the supplies I used. If you enjoyed the video, please leave me a comment or a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.